We turn now to Iran's ambassador to the United Nations, Amir-Saeid Iravani, who joins us from New York. Welcome to Face the Nation.
Thank you for having me.
Ambassador, can you give us some clarity? Does Iran intend to reconstitute a nuclear enrichment program on its soil?
You know that we are a responsible member of the NPT, and according to this treaty, we have the mutual rights. It means that the right of one side will be the obligation of the other side. In the NPT, it has been defined that we have two very explicit rights. The first is that we can have research and development, we can have the production of uranium, and we can have to use the peaceful energy. And the second right is that the legal protection by the IAEA for our activity and technical cooperation for our development program.
Yes.
And in return, also, it will be two rights for the agency in this regard, that they should have the full access according to the safeguard, comprehensive safeguard agreement.
Yes.
And the second one is that to preserve our peaceful nuclear activity will remain always in peaceful manner. So the enrichment is our right, an inalienable right, and we want to implement this right.
So you do plan to restart enrichment, that sounds like.
I think that enrichment will never stop.
Well, when you mention NPT, just for our listeners, you're talking about some of the international agreements Iran has made with the UN on non-proliferation and safeguards. You mentioned the UN nuclear inspectors. Secretary of State Marco Rubio released a statement yesterday saying that there were calls in Iran, this, I believe, is from a newspaper that the supreme leader oversees, accusing our prior guest, Rafael Grossi, of being an Israeli spy and calling for his arrest and execution. To be clear, is Iran threatening UN inspectors?
No, there is no any threat. It is a very clear law of our parliament that they have been suspended our cooperation with IAEA because the agency has not implemented their rights, their responsibility. Due to this, it is a conditional law. And as long as this condition has not been set, so our cooperation with IAEA will be suspended. But whenever it's set out as according to the law, so we can have resume our cooperation. But there is no any threat against the general director of the IAEA.
Well, that was published in Iran's Kayan newspaper. Your foreign minister did also say that the IAEA and Grossi himself are malign in intent. Are the IAEA personnel, are the inspectors already inside Iran safe? And can they go back to their work of inspecting your sites?
Exactly. They are in Iran, they are in the safe condition, but the activity has been suspended. They cannot have accesses to our site. But maybe it is individual opinion of the people that may criticize the IAEA or threat the general director. But we criticize IAEA. Our assessment is that they have not done their jobs, so they failed and they prepared and paid a grave for such aggression against us.
I imagine that you would condemn the calls for his execution?
Yeah.
President Trump...
It is not in our behavior.
Well, I know, and you're speaking to us from the UN. President Trump said Friday that Iranian officials want to meet with him personally, and he said that will be soon. Mr. Ambassador, is Tehran planning to drop this demand of indirect communication with the United States? And will you begin speaking with the Trump administration?
See, we were in the negotiation, but because we know that any dispute between Iran and United States or other part of the JCPOA cannot be resolved without the negotiation and using the peaceful means to resolve this dispute. So we are in the negotiation and we are ready for the negotiation. But after this aggression, it is not a proper condition for a new round of the negotiation. And there is no request for negotiation and meeting with the president.
Well, the United States is wanting to meet with Iran to talk. And while the Supreme Leader issued a statement saying Iran had dealt the U.S. a slap in the face, after that, President Trump said he had actually stopped Israel from going further and had stopped Israel from an attempt to kill your Supreme Leader. Why not take the offer of a diplomatic lifeline? Because he seems to be offering one.
It is a very gross violation of the international law that threatening the supreme leader of Islamic Republic of Iran or any head of a state, they have impunity from any attack. So we should understand that what is the principle and condition for any negotiation. Negotiation has its their principles, and it is a give and take process. So we should engage in the negotiation and discuss with each other. Maybe we reach to a conclusion or not. But the unconditional surrender is not negotiation.
Right.
It is dictating their policy toward us. If they are ready for negotiation, they will find us ready for that. But if they want to dictate us, it is impossible for any negotiation with them.
Mr. Ambassador, thank you for your time today. We will be watching and waiting to see if there are any diplomatic opportunities.